forgotten by design. For the Galactic Federation, humans were nothing more than tools. Designed to be cheap, efficient, and easily reproducible, they were the perfect warriors for interstellar conflict. But ethical debates shifted the winds of power. An animal rights group, viewing the humans as sentient beings with rights, fought fiercely and won legislation at the Federation Council. The decree, once put into motion, was clear. Humans were to be abandoned, left on the reservation planet known as Earth, and forgotten about. As centuries passed, the once thriving human farms now lay dormant, their purpose forgotten by all but a few. Situated light years away from the nearest inhabited planet, Earth was tucked neatly out of the way. Its sole purpose was to contain the remnants of a species once created for war. Commander Talon, an avian species from the Orion cluster, was tasked with Earth's millennial check-in. Every 1,000 years, a quick overview was conducted to monitor the state of the human species, noting technological advancements and societal changes. Previous visits had shown various civilizations. From mighty empires with grand structures to nomadic tribes, humans had constantly adapted, reinvented, and progressed. But this time, something was different. As Talon's ship approached the solar system, his sensors detected an unexpected blip, a metallic object near the outer edges of the Sol system. An artificial satellite? He mused, surprised. The weak transmission it emitted was primitive but unmistakably technological. As he continued, his ship's console lit up again. Sensor readings of Earth were picking up elevated levels of radioactive elements in the atmosphere, a possible sign of nuclear conflict. Have they annihilated themselves? Talon thought. But another scan painted a different picture. Radio waves, strong and consistent, emanated from every corner of the blue planet. So, they're still alive then. Recording the data for the Federation's records, Talon maneuvered closer. What he hadn't expected was the flurry of activity that greeted him in high Earth orbit. Metal satellites encircled the planet, and a space station, compact but sophisticated, floated serenely among them. As he marveled at their progress and hastily compiled his report, an unexpected jolt rocked his ship. Alarm sirens blared as he struggled to understand the new threat. The external visual revealed small, agile spaceships surrounding him, their weapons systems, akin to disruptors, trained directly on his vessel. A voice, unmistakably human, crackled over his communication system. "Alien craft, identify yourself." Talon hesitated. This wasn't the scattered, primitive species the Federation had left behind. It was a united front, technologically advanced and apparently not too thrilled about unannounced visitors. His thoughts raced. Forgotten they might have been, but the humans of Earth had evolved, adapted, and were now demanding answers. And Commander Talon unwittingly had just become their guest. Forgotten by Design, Part 2. Commander Talon's ship, a Federation masterpiece of technology and design, now hung helplessly in Earth's orbit, ensnared by a fleet of smaller, nimble human crafts. The voice that crackled over the communication system had a tone that hinted at decades of command. But what startled Talon most was not the show of force. It was the fluency and clear intent in the voice. These humans knew exactly what they were doing. Before he could muster a response, he hastily assembled the incomplete report on his console. Transmitting it back to his superiors at the Galactic Federation was a gamble. The report, marked with urgent priority, shot through the vast expanses of space, en route to a commanding officer who was, undoubtedly, going to be less than pleased. His heart raced as he pondered his next move. Making direct contact was fraught with danger, and seeing him, a bird-like entity, would only exacerbate their fears. He vaguely remembered lessons on first contact protocols from his academy days. What was it about the mythologies and beliefs of contacted species? Drawing upon fragmented memories of past check-ins, Talon recalled stories of deities worshipped by humans. Perhaps posing as one might buy him some time, even favor. Well, it's not entirely false, he reasoned. In a way, I am here to observe them. As the Earth ships began to tow his vessel toward their space station, Talon steeled himself. Clearing his throat, he activated the communication system. "Humans of Earth," he began, using his most resonant, authoritative voice. "I bring a message from the Celestial Federation, Guardians of the Galaxy. I request an audience with your most esteemed leaders. Much has transpired that you must be made aware of." A few tense moments passed before another voice, deeper and more seasoned, responded. "You speak our language fluently. Interesting. We're bringing you into Station Helios. Prepare to be boarded and let's discuss." Talon exhaled, relief evident in his feathers. He had managed to pique their interest without revealing too much. The space station approached, a marvel of human engineering, gleaming with the reflected light of the sun. As his ship was guided into a docking bay, Talon couldn't help but marvel at the rapid advancements the humans had made. The last report showed them barely mastering the intricacies of steam power. Preparing himself for the encounter, he stood tall, uniform immaculate. He was about to meet the leaders of a species once designed for war, but now evident masters of their destiny. Whatever lay ahead, Commander Talon hoped that his guise as a celestial emissary would bridge the chasm of misunderstanding between them. He glanced one last time at his ship's console. The report's transmission was successful. The Federation would know of this encounter, but for now Talon was on his own, walking into the heart of humanity's domain. Forgotten by Design, Part 3. The metallic doors hissed open, revealing the sterile interior of the space station. As Talon stepped out, a group of humans awaited him. At the forefront stood a rugged man, his silver hair contrasting with the deep lines of a weathered face that hinted at intelligence forged from countless challenges. "Welcome to the Genesis Station," the Admiral said, extending a hand, a gesture Talon recognized from his briefings as a human sign of goodwill. Opting for theatricality, Talon ignored the extended hand. Instead, raising his arms to mimic the wingspan he lacked, he intoned in a deep voice, "Behold, I am the one you know as Thoth, the Celestial, the Keeper of Mysteries." Admiral Lansing's brow furrowed, but a spark of recognition gleamed in his eyes. "Thoth, the god of wisdom and the moon from ancient Egyptian lore?" "Indeed," Talon continued, trying to maintain his composure and the charade. "I have watched over humanity from the celestial realms, returning now in this pivotal moment." A murmur went through the gathered delegation. Lansing, however, looked skeptical, though not entirely dismissive. "Well, Thoth, I must admit your appearance does remind us of the ibis-headed deity from the myths. But why now? Why this sudden appearance?" Leveraging his knowledge, Talon replied, "Humanity stands at the brink of a new era. I have returned to guide, to witness, and perhaps to intervene." As the discussions progressed, Admiral Lansing guided Talon to a more private chamber. Screens adorned the walls, displaying images of Earth from various eras. Some showed ancient structures like the pyramids, while others displayed grainy footage of unidentified flying objects. Lansing pointed to a still of a saucer-like ship. "We've had our suspicions, encounters, sightings, even abductions. Are they all your doing?" Talon hesitated, realizing he might have ventured too deep into his own deceit. "Not all, but some. The Galactic Federation has occasionally intervened, mostly to observe." "Galactic Federation?" Lansing leaned back, clearly intrigued. "So not just a lone god, but an entire federation. You've been watching us, then?" "Observation missions," Talon clarified, his celestial facade wavering. "Periodic check-ins to monitor your progress, your evolution. The Federation never interfered directly, only observed." The Admiral frowned. "So the tales of abductions, experiments." "Unintentional consequences," Talon admitted. "Sometimes things went awry, but never with malevolent intent." "Your English is impeccable," Lansing remarked, a hint of amusement in his eyes. "Almost native. How?" Talon tilted his head slightly. "Before missions like this, we're given a neural download of Earth languages. Your English is among them. It aids in understanding transmissions and communications." Lansing seemed to process this. "You're not here just as a benevolent god. You have an agenda. What is it?" Talon sighed. The weight of deception was becoming burdensome. "To observe, to report. But now, with Earth's advancements, the dynamics might change." Admiral Lansing nodded slowly. "You've given us much to ponder, Thoth. Or is there another name you go by in this Galactic Federation of yours?" Talon looked taken aback, his avian eyes betraying his surprise. "How did you know? Did you really think," Lansing chuckled, "that posing as an ancient god would go unnoticed or unchallenged? We've dreamt of the stars, of beings from the great beyond. And while the myths have given us a foundation, our quest for knowledge has never wavered. Talon inclined his head, acknowledging the Admiral's astuteness. So, what now? Lansing's eyes twinkled. Now, we talk. Truly talk. Humanity is ready to join the larger cosmos, and you, Commander, will be our first contact. As the two continued their conversation, it was evident that Earth's place in the galaxy was about to shift dramatically. The era of observation was over. The age of collaboration had dawned.